Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Mademoiselle Lina, and you can find me online at www.conjureknits.com. Today, we are here to do the weekly forecast for October 25th through October the 31st, and we are going to be using the Spirit Keepers Tarot, Revelation Edition by Benna Belwen. Before we get started, I would like to say thank you for viewing my video. And if you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to my channel. Hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and click on the little bell so that you'll receive notifications of when I go live or upload new videos. I do try to stay pretty busy here on my channel. I do all 12 zodiac signs for the monthly tarot scopes. On Sundays, we have Conjure Crew with myself, Mambo Tanya, and the Black Bonnet Witch. On Mondays, I upload the weekly forecast. Every day, I do a card of the day reveal. On Wednesdays, we have the virtual book club. We are currently reading the Sword of Truth series by Terry Goodkind. It has been so much fun following Richard and Kaylin on their adventures, so you are definitely going to want to join us for that. I also pop on from time to time and do free readings, so make sure you get my notifications by clicking that little bell. Alright, I feel that I have rambled on long enough. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Card number 1. What spirit will be most present this week? And we have the Shining Gale. The Shining Gale is embodied by a warrior general who is wielding the sword of Gaojin. Historians believe the sword belonged to Gaojin, the king of Yu, 496 to 465 BC. Here, the warrior general depicts one who has inherited that sword from the king of Yu and who is now possessed by the spirit of King Gaojin, having invoked the immortalized cultural hero, which approximately covers modern-day Zhejiang Province, Shandong, and Jiangsu. The kingdom of Yu was renowned for its sophisticated metalworks and swordsmithing. The sword of Gaojin was forged over 2,000 years ago, and when archaeologists found it buried alongside a skeleton, mysteriously the sword did not bear a single trace of rust. Its edges were so sharp that it drew blood when one of the archaeologists touched its edge. The bronze double-edged straight sword, after 2 millennia, could still easily cut through a stack of paper. Stones of blue quartz and turquoise adorn the guard and hilt. According to legend, Gaojin's father, who was king at the time, was at war with the kingdom of Wu. Gaojin fought in that war and in battle killed the rival state's king Helu of Wu. Wu's crown prince, Helu's son, vowed revenge. Helu's forces captured Gaojin, forcing him and his wife to serve as his personal slaves for 3 years. During his time of slavery, Gaojin plotted retaliation. Gaojin pretended to ingratiate himself so much to Helu's court that he made genuine allies, who later became traitors to the kingdom of Wu and supporters of Gaojin's kingdom of Yu. Furthermore, Gaojin gained Helu's forgiveness and trust to such an extent that Gaojin was able to learn all of Helu's and his kingdom's weaknesses. When Helu freed Gaojin and his wife, the two returned to their own kingdom and put their plot of vengeance into motion. Most of Gaojin's tactics were clandestine, playing the long game. Gaojin bribed ministers within the kingdom of Wu and manipulated pre-existing internal conflicts among Helu's court, fracturing unity within Helu's inner circle. Meanwhile, Gaojin himself never spent resources on opulence or fineries. He was known as the king who only ate peasant food. He lived humbly as a constant reminder of his times in slavery. Gaojin invested the entirety of his wealth into making his kingdom strong enough to defeat Wu. There's a legend of a swordswoman known as Yuanu, or Maiden of the Southern Forest. She was a skilled martial artist, and the fame of her abilities reached Gaojin. He sent for her and asked her to train his army officers. According to that legend, Yuanu is an emanation or reincarnation of the Lady of the Ninth Heaven, Jiu Tian Xuan Nu. The celestial lady of the ninth heaven took the human form of Yuanu to help King Gaojin. In the same manner, she descended down from the heavens to help the Yellow Emperor, 2600 BC, a shamanic king, defeat his enemies and the first great sovereign to unite the many tribes of ancient China. King Gaojin continued plotting his revenge against Wu and cultivated the strength of Yu for 10 years before launching his attack. When he finally attacked, he did so without mercy, killing the crown prince, seizing the capital, and annexing Wu to Yu. He killed the entire court of Wu, including all of its scholars, asserting that not a single life from your enemy's side should be spared. The Shining Gale is channeled through the icon of King Gaojin and the legacy of crown princes who gain the blessings of Jiu Tian Xuan Nu. The design inspiration for the warrior general's armor is a blend between the cord and plaque style of armor and banded bronze plates armor. The winged horse wears head armor made of bronze mirrors that reflect back to its sender any poison magic, ill intent, ill will, or hex magic. Likewise, the warrior's full body armor of bronze mirrors does the same. Here in this illustration, our warrior general is standing strong in the midst of a tornado, symbolic of unpredictability, a temper, and one on a warpath. Tornadoes form only when the right composite of air rising and spinning is present, and winds blowing in different directions at different altitudes converge. Here, the tornado is being controlled by the warrior general's helper spirit, a sylph. In Renaissance alchemy and ceremonial magic, the sylph is associated with the element air. A sylph is a feral-winged creature and guardian spirit who cannot be commanded, but can be persuaded. They're clever, witty, and can impart that intelligence onto you to aid in your endeavors. The 4 elemental spirits, salamanders, undines, sylphs, and gnomes, are administrators of all active processes associated with their respective element. They're the intelligence and the momentum of the element in operation. Sylphs, for instance, can control the winds, storms, and clouds. The text in vermilion red is the opening passage from the Diamond Sutra, which reads as follows. The Dharma, infinitely profound and subtle, is rarely encountered, even in 1,000,000 kalpas. Now we are able to hear, study, and follow it. May we fully realize the Tathagata's true meaning. Behind the lines of red text is a seal invoking the Lady of the Ninth Heaven, emblazoned in a glowing imperial yellow. The elemental emblem is represented by a golden tornado-like spiral as a methodology of magic. It is drawing out and siphoning the powers your enemy possessed, disempowering them, and pulling their powers toward you into the vortex of that spiral. What they had possessed now amplifies your personal powers. The white horse's name is Victorum. This key embodies the intellectualism and the cunning in the art of war. This card can also be a stand-in for one with a more masculine nature, with a strong presence of Gemini, Libra, or Aquarian energy. Card number 2. What is in my highest interest to make this week's priority? And we have the Empress. Her epithet is the Queen of Heaven, Mother of Thousands. Her imperial robes are the color of an abundant harvest. The dragonfly is an omen of joy and prosperity, oft seen as a messenger between heaven and earth. They come to earth bearing the blessings of the gods. The Empress wears a crown inscribed with the 12 signs of the East Asian zodiac. The center seal of a white lotus blossom expresses one who prevails against all odds. You succeed because you possess divine wisdom. The 3 orbs above the lotus represent the Holy Trinity and also the 3 pure ones, the alchemical triaprima. Her crown also symbolizes Musica Universalis, the harmony of the spheres. This reference connects the Empress to Key 21, New World Order, which in many historic tarot decks features the schema of the celestial spheres per Ptolemy and Aristotle, which in the SKT is featured in the 10 of Scepters, the burdened one, held up by the Titan god Atlas. The constellations are a form of music, a harmonic of mathematics and the Holy Spirit. She is an encoded revelation of the Holy Grail. Behind the Empress is the paradise you've earned passage to. The Empress is connected to Venus, and so she is the bringer of light. Note that Key 19, the warrior, is the bringer of dawn. The spirit of Key 3 is Gloria Mundi, the glory of the world. This is Rainia's gate. Rainia is the daughter of Zeus, granddaughter to Uranus, and the divine feminine personification of the Holy Spirit. This is also the card of prophecy and soothsaying through the study of stars, celestial configurations, and the key of astrology. Note, compare it to the prophecy from the priestess. The illustration for the Empress was inspired by Wu Zetian, a Tang dynasty Empress regnante, and the only empress in China's history to have reigned as an emperor. History has not been kind in its portrayal of her. She's depicted as ruthless, cruel, and calculating. Rumors spread that she used sorcery and witchcraft to rise to the top. Yet even those who dislike her credit her with increasing prosperity among the peasant class. She was a champion for women's rights and a passionate patron of arts and culture. Ben Abel merged the portrait of Wu Zetian with Haodu, Hu Tu Shen, meaning goddess of the earth. Haodu is the personification of Mother Earth, or Empress Mother of the Earth. The character, Hu, is supposed to resemble a squatting woman giving birth. Tu, which is the Chinese word for earth, represents a baby suckling on a woman's breast. In the Book of Rites, Lai Jai, canonical text on ceremonial rituals dated to the Zhou dynasty 1046 BC, 256 BC, Haodu was a deity or immortal, associated with family, community, and centralized government. She was also associated with agriculture and architecture, teaching humanity how to till the land until it was abundant and construct buildings. In one mythological tale, she taught Yu the Great, fabled king, circa 2000 BC, how to divert the great floods and save his people. Interestingly, these associations tie into the tarot threes in the minor arcana. The Three of Wands is the politic concerning government. The Three of Cups is community bonds. With a bit of a stretch, we might be able to link the Three of Swords with childbirth, and the Three of Orbs. The Mason includes themes of architecture and construction. In the Shan Hai Jing, canon from the Warring States period, around 475 to 220 BC, Haodu was also in charge of the dead or of ancestors. Canon from the Han Dynasty, 202 BC, 9 AD, attributed Haodu to one of the four royals, or one of the four directional deities, a position likened to later Taoist designations for Zai Wangmu, or the Empress Mother of the West. By the Song Dynasty, 960 AD, 1279 AD, Haodu had become recognized as a celestial empress who oversaw all the beauty of the natural world. From one palm she exuded yin, and from the other yang. She was the governess of yin and yang as the two formed all things on the physical earth. Thus, she was the goddess of beauty and fertility. The 18th day of the third lunar month is celebrated as the goddess Haodu's birthday. Card number 3. What do I need to be mindful of and prepare for this week? And we have the Corruptor. The Corruptor is a threshold guardian, warning you not to proceed. You are facing, and thus about to head down the wrong direction. Take caution. Self-reflect. Are you truly following your own values and greater good? Slow down and take a little more time to observe your surroundings. Are you being objective, or are you being subjugated by emotion-driven impulses? Crowley notes about the Seven of Cups. This is one of the worst ideas that one can have. Its mode is poison, its goal madness. The Thoth Seven of Cups features wilting lilies that show signs of decay and root rot. Root rot occurs when plants have been overwatered, or there is poor drainage of the water, when water consumes air and emotions subdue reason. The spirit of the Corruptor is about falsehoods appearing as truths, fantasies, and illusions, and being deluded into believing you have many options and opportunities, when in reality you do not. Even in the RWS Seven of Cups, featuring imagery that Waite describes as strange chalices of vision, that are not so much realities and truths as they are those of the fantastic spirit, going on further to ascribe the meaning of the card to fairy favors. This is your emotions and sentimentality playing tricks on your perception. There is nothing permanent or substantial about the opportunities you've been presented with. On a less ominous note, this is the card of wishful thinking, but you do and you can see the truth of your own reflection, so you're not actually ignorant. There's almost a willful or hopeful ignorance here. Deep down you know the truth, but you're still doing your best to deny it. When this card appears in your reading, your higher angels are giving you a warning signal about imbalances and false perceptions that you need to correct before proceeding further. The SKT is about revealing, peeling back the patina of appearances. The Seven of Chalices is the superficial intention of wanting to give the appearance of the seven virtues. This is seeking to appear chaste, humane, charitable, diligent, merciful, compassionate, and humble, when the truth is anything but those qualities. What you currently see as pleasures are in fact illusory, and any success to be enjoyed from the indulgence will be short-lived. The central focus is envy, the snake, because so much insidious harm is caused among people on account of envy. The snake's head is pointing and looking at lust, the goat, to signify their connection. This is also to present the dual nature of the serpent symbolism. It is magic, power, and wisdom, but its dark underbelly is jealousy, deceit. Nothing is as it seems, chaos, and prejudice. Throughout the imagery in this deck, the symbol of the serpent takes on different meanings depending on context. Envy as a result of ignorance, what the serpent signifies here in the Seven of Chalices, and enlightenment as a result of wisdom. The serpent's symbolism elsewhere are two sides of the same coin. The lighthouse represents spiritual guidance and illumination from beyond, a power external to you and reaching out through the darkness to help you find your way. The Seven of Chalices does not predict an immutable future. It is warning you of what could happen if you don't take action. Thus, the symbolism here lets you know there is still hope. The imagery of the Milky Way further reinforces that sense of vastness of the great beyond. There is so much more to truth beyond what you can currently see. Do not give in to the temptation of instant gratification. Take the long, hard road if you want to fully experience the depth and breadth of truth. The name of this spirit, its key title, was intended to be challenging. To corrupt is to distort appearances, and to bend your own moral or ethical values. The corrupter as a beneficent spirit shows you the self-destructive potential in every virtue, every good thing. Its intentional dishonesty, hence the imagery of the mirror. The mirror represents you being fully capable of seeing the truth for what it is. The lighthouse represents access to a clearer, less treacherous path and higher guidance, willing to navigate you through your troubled times. The corrupter can also be a warning sign from your spirit guides that someone is casting the evil eye upon you. The forces of envy or lust, wrath or avarice, etc., are being directed toward you, and you must tread with care. Be careful who you trust. Not everyone is being honest with you, and someone at arm's length is lacking integrity. Take a good hard look into that mirror to discern who is trying to pull the wool over your eyes. By combining the cards from this week's forecast, I was able to come up with the I Ching of Azu. This is about patience, waiting for nourishment. In the wake of difficulties, do not react hastily. Instead, take no action. The situation will not change simply because you force or will it to. The outcome will come from the divine. Put your faith in the natural flow of the divine. Clouds form in the sky and rise up toward heaven. The clouds must now wait for the harmony of heaven and earth to discharge its store of rain. Know your purpose and stay constant and true to that purpose. The endeavor of an extraordinary undertaking will be followed by meritorious achievement. All right, my lovelies. Let's take a look at the bigger picture here. Card number 1. What spirit will be most present this week? And we have the Shining Gale. Winds of the Sylph, be strategic. Appear to conform to the shape of that which is around you, but then assert yourself once you're at the center. That is how you advance quickly to the top. Launch the attack, but be cunning about it. Do not show your hand. Do not reveal your plan. Just hasten your move and act progressively. Pictured here is a warrior general wielding the sword of Gaojin. The text in red are the opening lines of the Diamond Sutra. Behind it in imperial yellow is the seal for invoking the Lady of the Ninth Heaven. The warrior general's helper spirit is the Sylph, who controls the winds and storms. The winged horse is named Victorum. Card number 2. What is in my highest interest to make this week's priority? And we have the Empress. You are on the verge of producing a work of worthy admiration. Hopes become reality. Positive omen of plenitude. Gloria Mundi is the muse for poets, writers, artists, and musicians. Mother Goddess is proud of you. The heavens shine blessings upon your life path. The Empress also embodies the spirit of rhetoric. She wields the art of charismatic persuasion. Fertile ground and high productivity are prophesied. The inspiration here is Wu Zetian, the only woman in imperial Chinese history to rule a dynasty. Here, Wu Zetian is appearing as the goddess Haodu, the Empress Mother Earth. Card number 3. What do I need to be mindful of and prepare for this week? And we have the Corruptor. The Corruptor is the master of sophistry. Superficially, your current reasoning seems plausible, but it is fallacious. Let neither desire nor fear manipulate you. There is illusory success and wishful thinking. You're dreaming big but acting small. We see the allegory of the 7 sins. Which of the 7 animals is pulling at your attention? The pig is gluttony, the snake for envy, peacock for pride, snail for sloth, lion for wrath, toad for avarice, and the goat for lust. The symbology here is taken from the 18th century tableau de François-Marie Ballinant. Do not act on impulse. When the Corruptor appears to you, rethink that idea you've been contemplating. It might not be prudent. Also, pay closer scrutiny to your environment. There are poisons around. The 7 of chalices is falsehood appearing as truth. What you perceive as real may just be imagined. This spirit appearing to you is a warning that misleading perceptions abound. Forgo the easy temptation of riches and fame, and instead choose what matters most to your heart. Card number 4. For the I Ching this week, we have Zhu. Zhu is about having patience and faith. Know without a doubt that your ancestors and spirits have your back. There is no need for you to be impatient and try to fix things on your own. They've got you. Watch out for people who are envious of you. They will smile to your face, then stab you in the back. You will win the war because you are a caring and nurturing person. In fact, you've already won the war. The jabs that you are receiving now are the scars that you have earned on your road to success. No one can keep you down. Keep moving forward. Honor your ancestors and spirits, and they will always guard and protect you from all of the jealous and messy people you incur along the way. This is going to be such an eventful week for you. A week of success and adventure. Amazement and wonder, even some disbelief. Sure, we do have some work to do, but it is so worth it. I hope that this reading has helped you and will help lead you and guide you throughout the week. If you do feel that it has helped you and that it will help someone else, please feel free to share this video. Sharing is caring. And if you would like a more in-depth and personal reading, you can go to my website at www.conjureknits.com and click on the link at the top of the page that says, Book a Reading. I hope you all have a very beautiful and amazing week. Love you bunches. Shalom.